Hey everybody, my name is Sierra Smith and this is going to be my persuasive speech for public speaking. So thanks for watching and let's go ahead and get started. On a PS4 for Grand Theft Auto, the triangle allows you to steal a car. The circle allows you to kill someone with a weapon of your choice or with your bare hands. And when prompted, an X can allow you to pick up a hooker. The F word is used constantly, and committing crimes is actually warranted to completing each mission to move up in the game. More than half of the 50 top-selling video games contain violence, sources from procon.org, and according to a Nielsen Games survey conducted on Grand Theft Auto alone, GTA, players have found that 17% of respondents were between the ages of 7 and 16. The legal age to buy Grand Theft Auto, it is for mature audiences, and it is for people that are 17 and older. Being a child is encouraged to use one's imagination, but implementing violent video games in the mixture creates a concoction for an uncensored, perhaps aggressive and unrealistic view of life. Very true. Video games that hold mature, offensive, and violent natures desensitizes and corrupts our future youth. From early stages, children are sponges and absorb behaviors whether taught or observed from their own surroundings. Not only is today's youth sucked into the life of technology, but are brainwashed into the world of gaming. Children absorb every fiber of violence promoted throughout video games. Children are exposed to a full spectrum of profanity throughout tons of games today, and with this occurrence constantly, it becomes part of their vocabulary unknowingly, or they feel that it is the common way of speaking within their language. Also, the graphic nature that promotes violence that allows them to deal with issues. Effects of this makes for a very uncensored individual with a constant swear word in their diction, and it also confuses them with handling occurrences to resorting into violence and aggressive behaviors towards situations in life. Sources from procon.org say violent video games have been blamed for school shootings, increases in bullying, and violence towards women. Critics argue that these games desensitize players to violence, reward players for stimulating violence, and teach children that violence is an acceptable way to resolve conflicts. The importance is obvious in the matter. Putting a stop or more strict regulations on these video games could perhaps diminish future fatalities, violence, and aggressive natures due to children witnessing and being taught such graphic lessons. According to the AACAP, American Academy of Children and Adolescent Psychiatry, some games connect to the internet, which can allow children and adolescents to play games and have discussions with complete strangers, with unknown adults and peers. Not only does it affect diction and attitude of children, but opens doors to other scarier situations. Solutions that would better handle violence from video games in the hands of children would be to understand the effects and be more engaged with children. One solution being to maybe have the video games played in a monitored setting, whether that be a living room or a family room. This allows for more parental control. Placement does actually solve a lot of that. Another solution could be playing the games with children and focusing more on educational video games that would be more likely benefit a child in the learning process. This adapts for a fun game environment while also learning quality skills at the same time. Overall, getting involved and knowing what your child is playing and witnessing and what they are hearing is going to overall better the situation of violent video games. You can develop more of a strategy in keeping them in their mind safe. One would be to obviously knowing what games they are playing and being very much involved. Two, being to pick and choose what they play, how they play, where they play, when they play, and taking more precaution. And then third would be to explain to your child why they can't engage in games that promote violence. And communication is definitely key in this. Also to involvement, and will help with any underlying issues towards violent video games. This should help deteriorate any negative outcomes that could worsen, whether that be aggression or emotional detachment to norms of society. And at the end of the day, it's going to better all help society in the future, for sure. The middle button on the controller, we've already discussed what all the other buttons on a controller for a PS4 can do. The middle button allows you to actually turn off the system. And I personally feel that parents need to do this and turn off the negativity being promoted to children. Obviously, it is promoted obviously for a mature audience, but just like everything in life, children can get their hands on anything. And as a parent, it's our job to protect our child and help our child. And will it reduce all of the world violence, crimes, and such? No, obviously not. But it's going to be a step in the right direction. Today's youth is tomorrow's future. And letting them know there's a bigger world out there rather than Grand Theft Auto's Grove Street will definitely help them in knowing that that's not realistic. And that even though it may be stimulating to watch, it's not stimulating in reality. So thank you so much for joining and listening, and thank you. Bye.